Welcome to Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theater. Now, here's your host, Lisa Condit.
Thank you all for listening today. I'm pleased to be here with Adrien Finlay. He is the Executive Director of Music Worcester, one of our favorite co-promotional and cultural organizations here in the city of Worcester. Welcome, Adrien.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, you bet. And you know, it's a big year for both of us, isn't it?
It is. It is. Anniversary years all around.
I know. Okay, so we're celebrating 10, but your organization is celebrating 160. And you know, I really admire the work that you do at Music Worcester. I admired the work of your predecessors, and just so much has evolved and changed. But what's constant is absolutely the quality of the artistry and the technique of the artists that you book into all of the different venues. So, bravo.
Thank you. And, you know, you took the words right out of my mouth, actually. When we get together, whether that's a committee meeting, whether that's even our staff meetings, whether it's, you know, the board meetings a couple times a year in general, we return to those key words, artistic excellence. And, you know, in our little way, we know we're dwarfed by some of our larger colleagues regionally throughout New England, but in our way, we like to know that we are putting our resources to work in the best possible way they can be put to work. So thank you.
Absolutely. And you know what? You are bringing phenomenal work here to downtown Worcester. The one that I'm really interested in that kind of kicks it off is on Wednesday, November 7th, Callus in Concert, the Hologram Tour. We've talked a little bit about this, and it's so interesting to me how this has come to be. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you all made the decision to bring this?
Absolutely, and fascinating on so many levels. Here is a persona. She was far more than a singer. She was the diva, and you know, in that long-term relationship with Onassis, known the world over for several roles, in particular on the opera stages, and Greek by ethnicity, but American-born, believe it or not, even though she had this international presence, but passed away in the late 70s, being brought back to life via hologram technology. So, for those listeners who immediately ask, how the heck is this going to happen? It is live orchestra on the stage of the Hanover Theater, live conductor, and then in front of those entities is a series of meshes and screens on which the image of Maria Callas, this, you know, the 20th century diva, will be projected. And she will be moving around the stage. Her vocal track will be piped in through the sound system, and the orchestra and conductor will accompany her. We are in for a fantastic evening, but to answer your question, I was hesitant about bringing this to the Music Worcester Programming Committee and Board. And to my very pleasant surprise, they said, go for it. And I think it's many things at once. First of all, there's the novelty aspect. Second, there's some history of opera here in town, but it hasn't really been part of Worcester in the recent years at the star-powered opera conversation. So we felt, you know, in a way, there's a bit of a need for that. And what better way to do it than, you know, one of the names that is just absolutely and constantly associated with opera in the 20th century. I mean, we even have some supporters who saw her live at Symphony Hall in Boston on her last recital tour in 1977. It's amazing.
Wow. That is phenomenal. And you know what? I know that evening is going to be a real treat for people. And it's the type of thing where you might not even realize that you love this form of entertainment or music or opera, because for a lot of people they think, ooh, opera, I'm not so sure. But to put it in such a current setting brings it to other people to experience and enjoy. And so that's a really great thing. You know, your season is full of those. And at the Hanover Theater, then in January, you have another really interesting piece that you're bringing to the Hanover Theater. And it's an arrangement of Bach's Masterpiece and new work for Goldberg Variations. And we have to talk about that a little bit because it is such a great show.
And it will be a fantastic use of the theater.
But it's so different than what people are thinking it's going to be. So do you want to describe that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. So this is so intriguing, and it's the intersection also of many things. So first of all, I'll just start with the music. You will have the pianist, Simona Dinnerstein, on stage playing Bach's Goldberg Variations. Now, some interesting layers there. She performed this in recital here in Worcester a couple of years ago at Tuckerman Hall, sold out. So, of course, it was natural for us to think about bringing it back with her at the piano. She also will be, for the upcoming season, our first ever artist in residence. We are celebrating our 160th anniversary not with a gala, but
hey, galas are fun.
They are. but with a increased outreach into our Worcester community. That is the way we wanted to celebrate, and that's what we are doing. She was here for the entire season, and this is one of the key pieces of her residency, and I can speak more about that in a second. But she also kick-started, really self-started is the better word, her career with a crowdsourced, she was one of the first classical artists to do it, a crowdsourced recording of the Goldberg Variations really put her on the map a couple of decades ago. And so, for so many reasons, she is Goldberg Variations. On top of this, we will have the Pam Tanowitz Dance Company. So, trying to keep fresh, how can you play the same piece for years after years after years and take it on tour all the time? One of the ways Simona has addressed this is by doing it in different iterations, and she has this wonderful working relationship with this dance company out of New York City. And this premiered regionally at the ICA in Boston last December, and we are so happy to have the second New England run of it.
It's awesome. It really is, and it just feeds the inner dance, ballet, and music lover in everybody. So that's really exciting. And that brings us to the next one in your schedule that I'm extremely thrilled about, and that's the Russian National Ballet. They're returning by very popular demand Friday, March 22nd, yes, with the timeless ballet classic Swan Lake.
Yes. So, while we may be eschewing a gala in our 160th anniversary year, there is the conversation of, go big or go home. And so we said, look, anniversary year, we're taking some risks in other ways. Let's go to the tried and true, the ballet that our audiences, for this annual spring storybook ballet segment, the ballet that everyone gravitates to is Swan Lake, so let's do it again. And we are. And I will tell you that we were most invigorated by this company's appearance a few months ago on their 2018 stop here at the Hanover Theater, because they have completely redone all of their sets and productions, and we are just in for a new interpretation of Swan Lake, and we're so looking forward to it.
Ooh, and I have to say there is nothing like a fully staged ballet on our stage. It is meant for fully staged ballets. That's my own personal opinion coming out, but that's going to definitely be great. And tickets to all of these, by the way, for our listeners, of course, are available on our website at the Hanover Theater. We spell that with an RE.org. And the other show that's going to be a real treat, you were telling me a little bit about the dynamics behind this one, is in March 15th, we have Natalie McMaster coming with Donna Leahy. Am I saying his name correctly? Donna Leahy?
Leahy. Yeah. And so, known to so many, she's a regular presence here in the U.S. She is Cape Breton, Canadian, and while some may put her under this general umbrella of Celtic fiddler, this will be a husband and wife team and family.
Ooh,
so
we love that.
You have Natalie and Donnell and their kids all on stage together. It will be a family affair. They all are performers. They're all dancers. They're all fiddlers. And I am very happy with the early sales to date. This one is going to go high, and it will be such a milestone for the spring part of our anniversary season. And not to make too fine a point of it, but it will have been, by the time this concert occurs with Natalie, it will have been 6 years since she was last here. I have the distinct impression that Worcester has been waiting for her return, and I think it will just be a fantastic evening overall.
Oh, absolutely. My spirits are already soaring just thinking about it. And you know what? That is sincere, because it is always amazing to watch highly creative, talented people perform, hands down. But then when you add in those personal dynamics of family with them, and then you see that joy that's crossing generations, and it's such a central theme to the relationships, nothing replaces that. So I know we are in for a big treat.
Yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention, going back just for a quick second to the Goldberg Variations, the new work for Goldberg Variations with the dance company. The dance company is poised to spend a day and a half with Hanover Theater's conservatory students.
And we love that. Absolutely.
We worked into the ask with them, definitely some educational work with the program there.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Wonderful news. So thank you so much for your time. Adrien, anything else you want to tell our listeners before we have to go?
We are just so pleased to be part of this amazing year at Hanover Theater. We are so looking forward to celebrating with the public at large, and with all things going on here downtown, it's the Hanover Theater is such an anchor institution of all things being economic drivers here in Worcester, and we may have the longevity in our little way. We hope we're contributing to it as well. So thank you.
Absolutely, Adrien. We're proud to partner with you, and thank you for bringing such fabulous shows to our venue, and it's a great partnership. So thank you. Stay tuned for more after this quick break here on Behind the Scenes with the Hanover Theater on WCRN AM 830.